Hi guys, Vechs here. Welcome back to my Spellbound Caves 2 developer commentary. Alrighty, so in today's episode we're going to not be able to see very far. 8 distance, what the? What? What? What's happened? Why did my distance get turned down so low? Alright, let's get out there and... Why can't I use this? Attack 24? What? Mining 18? I don't meet the requirements. Well, what the heck? Well, let's get back to attack 24, I guess. Oh, I need to go stop by my base. Mining 18. Oh. Alright, well let's go get some XP. I don't know why this has happened. That's a little odd. The last episode I met the requirements, and now this episode I don't. Life is like that sometimes, isn't it? But what's actually happened is I updated the mod pack to version 10, 1.0.8.2, or 1082 for short. And so some stuff has changed, and let's go over that real quick. All right, so thing number one, probably a big change is going to be the in the currency exchange. There's some new tokens here to exchange, and these are dropped by Infernal monsters. And in the Adventure Awaits, there's a quest about them here that walks you through the information. It tells you that there's 3 types of Infernals: blue names, yellow names, orange names, Elites, Ultras, and Infernos, and they just have different amounts of mods on them, and the higher tier they are, basically drop better tokens, and you can exchange the tokens for loot. So you might ask, well, what's the loot? The loot is Infernal tier 1, 2, and 3, and 4 loot boxes. And there's a spawner loot box too. Now, naturally, you might want to know, well, Vechs, why'd you make a token when you could have just made the thing drop the loot box, right? Like, make the spawner drop the spawner loot box instead of the token that turns into the loot box. Like, are you stupid? Why didn't you do that? And the answer is, as far as I could tell, it's not possible. Because, like, let me show you an example. Let's bust out the /give command. /give, and we're gonna do /give at p super hostile token. Let's give myself a iron token. So that's neat. That was super hostile tokens : token iron. That was the name of that. That was the name of this. I didn't earn that, so I'll throw it away. Okay. So that's basically what's in the configuration file for the Infernal monsters. Is they'll drop like, and this is super hostile tokens : token copper, right? Pretty simple. Now let's check out the. Let's do a give command to myself. Let's just give myself the tier 1 Infernal loot crate. Okay, here we go. /give at p ftb quests. Is it loot crate? Loot crate. Yeah, there we go. I have a FTB quests loot crate, but it doesn't work. Well, let's throw out that useless one. Let's take a look at this token again. So if I use the token and go grab, let's turn the thing in and grab one of these. Infernal tier 1. Oh, hey, look. It has NBT data on it, guys. What is NBT data? Well, NBT edit item. So here's the empty loot. Here's the loot crate. And you'll notice that it's an FTB quest loot crate, and it's count as 1, and that's literally all the data that's here, right? So if you look, this has a NBT data here of type, and then infernal underscore tier underscore 1. So there is a command to there's a /give command to actually give this loot crate. It is. Uh, this. Infernal tier 1. Okay, so it'd be /give @p, I guess, or your name, whatever. FTB quests loot crate /1 /0 space left bracket type colon parenthesis quotation infernal underscore tier 1 quotation left bracket, and that actually gives the proper crate. So the question arises, well, Vechs, why didn't you just make the infernal monsters the infernal mod? Why didn't you go to that configuration file and make it just drop that? And why didn't you go to spawner controls configuration file and make the monster spawners drop a spawner crate? And the answer is those configuration files don't support the NBT data tags like this. So it is impossible to get that type colon infernal tier 1 part into the configuration file. It doesn't recognize it. So it only recognizes the raw item name, and there was an update, hold on to your seats, that let it recognize damage value. So like you could make it drop the different types of rock, right? Because as far as Minecraft goes, like cobblestone is, well, no, andesite. Let me go andesite. Andesite is Minecraft stone with a damage value of 5. So, as an example, in the infernal spawners, the infernal monsters spawn controls configuration, I could add Minecraft stone with a data value of 5 to make it drop andesite. And I have to cough. Okay, so that's pretty much it. There's no provision to do the NBT data tag, so I had to come up with another solution, and my solution was to use a token, but I needed a token, so I literally just made my own mod that adds these tokens, and they have no other purpose than to just act as a token. And they don't use data values. They use hard-coded names so that they're compatible with even the most limited drop configuration methodology. Okay, we got that. Because I just know, I even tried to explain it because I was like, man, people are gonna wonder, like, why didn't you just make it drop the loot crates? Why this middleman thing? And it says here in this quest, I would have preferred to make the infernal monsters drop loot crates directly, but because of the limitation of the infernal mod configuration file, that's not possible. So there's that was the brief explanation, and this was the detailed explanation. Okay, so in 1082, there's another change, and that is the armor. Basically, armor was really overpowered, both on you and on monsters, and it made combat feel kind of like a slog, because high-tier enemies with lots of armor and high-tier players with lots of armor would barely take any damage, and it was just a little silly. And so basically, um, there's how would you explain it? Let me pull up the adventure awaits. No, it's in survival basics, starting armor. Okay. This is a new quest. It basically tells you that you really need to wear armor, and because the armor, even leather, like, so I did some testing. I spawned in a Grimoire of Gaia Oni because they were a pretty reliable enemy to whack with, and their base damage is like 4.5. And so starting with the 4.5 Oni damage, I would try to map out how much damage I was taking. And you can basically see the damage reduction here, starting with leather, and then chain, then diamond, then protection 4 diamond, then dragon steel, and protection 4 dragon steel here. So basically, in the old configuration, the diamond armor by itself was getting you to like 0.8 damage from 4.5. Like it was making you take like 20% normal damage, which tracks because each shirt of armor is worth 8%, I think, in vanilla Minecraft. So a full 10 shirts is 80% damage reduction. Now when you have like 50 hearts worth of HP and you have 80% damage reduction, you're only taking 1/5 of the damage. So instead of 50 hearts, you effectively have 250 hearts worth of damage to take. That's a concept called effective health. If you've played MMORPGs like World of Warcraft, and you've ever been a tank class at high-end gameplay, you've probably run into the concept of effective health. And it's like one character has 8,000 hit points and 40% damage reduction, and another character has like 6,500 hit points and 50% damage reduction. Like who actually is more durable, right? So that's where you do the calculations of effective health when you calculate the resistance to damage reduction and their HP, and you're looking for how much raw damage must be dealt to that character to put them down. Uh, so basically, unenchanted diamond was making you into like a unkillable of monstrosity. And that was true for players and for monsters, because a lot of the monsters, the modded monsters, you'll notice on their health bar readout, they'll have armor shirts and they'll have decent armor ratings on them as well. And that's before I start equipping my dungeon monsters with armor and other equipment. Uh, so if you ran into a infernal monster that hit the HP cap of like 500 and they had armor, you were looking at kind of a, well, calculator. If they got 500 hit points and they're reducing incoming damage by 80%, then it's kind of like dealing with something that has 2,500 hit points, or to put that in hearts, Minecraft hearts, 1,250 hearts worth of damage. So you can see I felt the need to like address this a little bit. So leather, even basic leather armor, you can see is still cutting damage almost in half. And diamond is cutting damage a lot, but there's less of a jump up as you advance up the armor. Because I needed to make room for protection for Dragonsteel armor to not make you immortal, and before it was kind of making you immortal. So my goal was to make protection for Dragonsteel equivalent to old diamond armor, but then also make sure that like the lower tier armors aren't useless. So I've kind of adjusted the formula a bit to like what would you say? I've raised the floor and lowered the ceiling. Yes. Yes, I think that's a good description. Uh so this is the first iteration of this. I've tested it a bit and it feels right, but a change like this probably needs to go through I would say tens of hours of testing, maybe like 100 hours. So maybe like feedback from like 10 people each playing 10 hours. Just let me know. But let me know what you think on Discord probably. Not in the comments because I don't know when this video will go live. So by the time you leave your comments, I don't know. But thus far, everybody has been like, yes, this is a great idea. Packrat streams at the time of this recording is streaming Delania in the Super Hostile mod pack, and he's basically like just walking past enemies because they can't hurt him, and the enemies are also really heavily armored because they're my custom enemies that spawned in with armor and stuff, and they're really tanky and he's really tanky, and like everybody just takes forever to die. And that's not exactly what I intended. To be fair, those enemies that I designed for Delania was like they're meant for to be compatible with vanilla. And like when I made it, the mod pack was different. So I should probably update Delania at some point. But the general consensus among my fans seems to be they would rather me spend my like limited time working on new maps than like spending lots of time updating older maps. That doesn't mean I'll never update the old maps. It just kind of means like it's going to be like maybe 3 shares of this, 1 share of that type thing. So that's the armor. And there's new stuff. There's also effectively what you could consider steel armor, I suppose, in the 1082 update. There's a quest here that leads you to upgrade steel and gives you some hints how. And it's basically the Deathworm Chitin is between, if you look at the stats of it, it's between iron and diamond. So it's better than iron, and it looks really cool. Like the armor has some character to it. And there's also some new armor for the people who like to play Hostile Dew Valley players that like my wife just stays in the base and likes to farm and stuff. Um, there's some players who like to play on natural generated worlds and they stay in their base and they farm and they're not like the best people at combat, and that's fine. Um, I try to cater to the players like that too, with these Stardew Valley style bundles to do. And as far as that goes, like there is a this new armor, the Myrmex armor, requires farming and gathering to use. So it's an armor set. This stuff is basically it's very similar to diamond in quality. Um, I don't know if it's as durable as diamond, but it has the same protection values as diamond. But it can be acquired through farming. So yeah, it's like dedicated like farming armor. Minor spoilers, but I figured it's okay for if you're watching this DevCom this far in, you're like, yeah, okay, we're gonna get like he's showing off stuff. Let's see. Do I have? I'm not sure what to take here. I'll just grab the Unbreaking. Yes, excellent. I also rebalanced a lot of these quests here. Some of them were too good, some of them were too stingy. You get an arcane workbench now from the skill you need magic. That might be too generous, but at the same time, to actually use your magic properly, to be able to like swap your like put spells on your wand so you can use them, you do need the arcane workbench. And I was like, okay, fine. I wanted to lower the barriers of entry to low level magic, so that players can basically get using their magic really quickly. I'm just gonna get this out of my quest log. Go away. Cool. All right. So I think that's everything. Was there anything else major? Let me have a quick look at the. Let me have a quick look at the patch notes real quick and double check myself. That's on my desktop work folder, 1082 patch notes. Ah, quality tools. Yeah. Poor quality is now less common than it used to be. It had a weight of 1,000, and so common had a weight of 2,000. Poor had a weight of 1,000. And a lot of times I've made it so that poor has a weight of like 700. Sometimes it's like got a weight of 500 depending on the item. I haven't messed with the other weights now, so let's see here. Oh, Infernals. This is a big one. There's some Infernal modifiers that are gone. Gravity has been removed. One Up has been removed. Choke has been removed. So gravity, that's the biggest one is gravity. Gravity's been fairly divisive. Uh, I like it. I think that like a monster's ability to move the player and jerk them around is probably healthy for gameplay so that players don't get complacent. That said, like a lot of people just hated it, and I'm not making this mod pack just for me to play. I'm making it for people to play and actually like. Uh, and I totally understand that gravity can be annoying, and it can if it was me designing it. I if I was designing things, if I could reach into the guts of this mod and change how it works, I would probably do more things like having hit like zones of energy visible. Like so the monster, okay, so for example, the monster would face you and there would be like a fan shape or a box shape of energy that appears in front of the monster as it faces you, and then after like a second, it would pull you if you stay within that bounding box, so that you could see that it's coming and then dodge out of it, right? Um, Something like that. But instead, the way it's implemented, I like the mechanic, but the implementation's very flawed because there isn't a warning, and the gravity pull just goes off instantly, and you can't stop it. So while I like the mechanic of a monster being able to pull you, uh, I do agree that the fact that it is instant and there's no real warning or visible, uh, I think the word I'm looking for is counterplay. Oh God, everything becomes League in the end. Yeah, but there's no counterplay. So instead of the monster pulling you, I've re-enabled the Ender. So Ender and Vengeance have both been re-enabled. Without one up and without regen and without lifesteal, Vengeance is not really that big of an issue, I don't think. Vengeance was only problematic when it was taken with other other things. Ender should be okay. Ender just lets the monster teleport around like an Enderman can, so that makes the monster mobile without messing with you. So that should feel probably more fair to the player. Uh, there is still blast off, but blast off is always sending you straight up into the air. So if you're standing on a ledge, you won't get pulled off the ledge. You'll just get thrown up and then land back on the ledge where you were standing. That is, unless you panic and start pushing a direction, right? But as long as you don't panic and stay still, you should be okay. So theoretically, the counterplay to blast off is to not panic and don't let it spook you into moving. So there is actually something you can do against blast off, whereas gravity is just like, nah, you're over here now. So I think that's probably going to be a good change. There's been a mod added, empty culling. You won't notice it. It's a performance increasing mod. It makes stuff you're not looking at not get rendered when you're not looking at it, so that it should increase your frames per second. And that's basically it. Diamond armor takes an astral diamond nail to make because it to probably reflect its quality. And there's new chitin armor you can make after iron to kind of fill that gap. Because I didn't think that diamond armor is really strong, and it's so easy to get in natural generation uh, that it didn't feel very special. So crafting the chest plate is basically in the middle of these new recipes for like the chest plate. Yeah, there's just a new astral diamond right there. The same goes for the helmet right there in the middle, and the leggings. It's right there on the belt buckle right there. And the boots, I couldn't really come up with a good way, so I was like, you know what? They are just boots. So the boots recipe hasn't changed. So to get a full set of diamond armor, you do need 3 astral diamonds, which, considering the quality and durability of diamond, I definitely think that's fair. Astral diamonds are more reliable to get now, but you probably won't get like tons of them. you'll get a trickle of them, and that is because of the Infernal loot crates. The tier 1 loot crate, it cuts out a lot of the weapon spam, and it does give you just more raw resources. But more importantly, it gives you leather and other stuff you can melt down for leather, iron, wood, stone. It gives you a lot more of the basic resources. But there is still the chance to get Astral Diamond shards, even from the worst Infernal loot table. And then you can't actually see this, but yeah, I do wish the loot table, when you looked at it, did show you how much you would get. Because some of these it's basically like it gives you the Astral Diamond shard, but then it has a chance, like you get the shard, and then you also get a random number of shards between like 1 and 9, for an example. So you actually get between 2 to 10. And you can't really see that, but you can deduce it based on like opening a chest and then noticing that, oh hey, you got stuff. Also, when you open these, you'll actually get multiple items, so you'll roll multiple times on this table. But Infernal 3 just starts dropping whole diamonds instead of the shards. And then Infernal 4 is a very good loot table. But it's also the rarest. So just by killing the bubbly fubblies, you can get Astral Diamonds, but it will be a slow trickle as opposed to, well, nothing actually. They didn't drop Astral Diamonds at all before, so it's just a completely new source of them. So there's that. Spawners will drop less Astral Diamonds overall because of the shards, but I think that's probably a healthy change, so I can spam spawners a little bit more. You'll get well, you know what? You'll see when I open a spawner crate. How about that? I could save up like 10 spawner crates. Why don't I save up like 10 spawner crates and then open 10 of them and show that off? Okay, so let me sort my inventory and double check I have everything, and let's head off on adventure. Okay, sorted and ready. Let's see now. So last episode we knocked out the haunted library, and what? Oh god. Okay. Not sure what. Is that entity calling? Because the entity for this is right here, and so I can't see it anymore, so it stops rendering. Is that entity culling? I wonder if there's a I might need to check the configuration file and see if there is a way to tell it to ignore and always render those bridges, because that was that alarmed me. I was alarmed. Anyway, let's go this way. And I think there's a secret down here somewhere. I can't remember. It's probably like a loot box or something. I don't know. Hey guys. Boop. Oh, the lack of smite. Sadness. I feel it. Blech, he says. So that was an orc. And these are also orcs. Setting the tone for the area we're going in. This is Dust Axe Cave. This is just a connecting area to connect you to the Oasis coming up. It's also a way for you to, right here, this type of thing, where there's one set path like going down and the player has a good high ground position like this. I'll often use this a lot. and maps in areas where I want to show the player something. So you come up on this camp, you look down and see the orcs, and you have the advantage position here, so that you can engage these brand new enemies. Because I believe at this point in the map they are brand new. There's aloe. I don't think I need the aloe really for much. You can make elixirs of fire resistance with it. You know what? Maybe I should do the brewing at some point. So let's throw the aloe in the backpack. Chili peppers, on the other hand, I am very happy to see. I'll teach you guys how to farm chili peppers. Spoiler alert: you just stack the stakes up and put them on the stakes. So you see how that guy just kind of appeared? That was an Ancient Warfare Advanced spawner, one-shot encounter basically. So Dustfall Cave, Mana Oasis. So originally there was a spawner there, and I basically swapped them out for AW Advanced spawners that are one-shot encounters. So basically they spawn once, and once they're dead, that's the end of them. I would have maybe preferred doing. Oh, hello. Oh, you're scary, aren't you? I need to be using my projectiles don't work on you, huh? Hammer seems to work pretty well. I believe the orcs are a natural spawn in this savanna biome. So there's a Infernal coin, token. There's an orc shaman who has a projectile attack. Does it home in? I think it does. Does it levitate me? It slows you. Okay. They shoot slowing projectiles, which is kind of nasty. This place is kind of lively at night. Without the honeypots underground here, it's pretty much max spawn on the surface out here at night. It does look pretty cool, although I have to remember that you guys on YouTube probably have worse night vision than me. So I think what I'll do is an old trick you can do. In a lot of older first-person shooter games, you can do stuff like this with enemies. A thing you can also do in Diablo is you run in a circle like this and gather them up, and then you can AoE them down. Alright, does lightning work on you? Oh! You're not fast enough to dodge that. I'm not fast enough to dodge that creeper, but I want that blight. Come here, you. I'm gonna run past these guys and gather them up, and then I think try to turn around and... Ah! He put the blight on my head! It's stupid brain slime! Hey, you. Goodbye. Goodbye. Bye-bye. Dear, I almost bopped you, but we cool. Hey, it's dawn! You guys could see now. But yeah, these tokens will keep your inventory from getting filled up with all the random weapons and stuff that the other guys drop. Still get weapons and stuff and materials to make weapons with from... Okay, it's these guys. Alright, we're doing this. Yippity! Ow! Oh, you're Chungus. You're also blocking. Oh, great. Oh, your attack pattern is also really annoying. Okay, that counts as a projectile. So if it counts as a projectile, it looks like you can block it with his shield. That was fun. Let's have a lunch break. I have a bento box of sushi here. Great. I like dragon rolls, I think, if I'm gonna eat sushi. I'm a fan of spicy, anything with spicy mayo on it is my jam. Alrighty, so I think I'll leave these in my inventory because I'll be picking up a lot of them, but everything else pretty much can go in the loot bag. Whee! So it looks like somebody picked a fight with the Barakoa. Baroka? I don't know. It don't matter. Their masks are actually... Should just use chain lightning. It's not worth... I don't know if it's even worth it to... Oh god, the Baroka are in a fight with the goblins, the neutral goblins. You gonna go help your Finns, buddy? I don't know if they need help, though. The bomb spam is real. Look at them. Do your best impression of a Zigzult. Well, this is lively. I like this. I didn't see this behavior in playtesting before. So this is kind of cool. What are you shooting at? Here, go closer. I don't know what he's shooting at, but... He's having fun. That was a very easy Infernal. I don't know if I feel like I earned that silver token, I'll be honest with you guys. Oh, the Infernals aren't as common. I made them appear a little bit less often. Ah! They were 1 in 10, I think, and now they're like 1 in 12, 1 in 13. So it's not a huge change, but just it is a little bit of a change. Okay, so there's a dungeon right over there, and there's the fire pillar right there, and a dungeon right here. Let's start with here first and go have fun with the orcs. I didn't read the name of this area. Hold on a sec. Let me go back over here. Or he. Oh, run past the Goblin War against the Barakoa. The Barakoa. Baroka? Yeah, that's not Baroka. It's Barakoa. B-A-R-A-Koa. I didn't even really get a chance to read this, did I? Or unless I did, I just forgot. Okay, so that was Dustfall Cave, and this is the Mana Oasis. So this is the hot area of Spellbound Caves 2. Well, maybe not the hottest. There is a spoiler alert. There is another biome up ahead. So this part of the map is where I introduce the players to more extreme temperatures because the Grand Melt is tundra temperature rating, and like this area is savanna and desert. So the player, all the intersection 1 areas were temperate biomes where temperature wasn't really a thing. So in creative mode, I should be able to see these. And just real quick, where's one? Okay, so in creative mode, you can see the Ancient Warfare Advanced spawner, and that's what this is here, this red one. And one thing it lets me do is, like, here, there's going to be an orc here, right? And the settings on this are controlled with the, if you were making your own kind of stuff, it's the mob spawner placement tool. You can go grab a monster. So as an example, I could grab this guy, and now he will be placed as a spawner. I think you can also, how do you get to the settings? Try to remember how. Oh, you just right click. Okay. So here are the settings, and by default they're set to one shots because they have a right here under the entity here, it's got a max of 1 and a total of 1, so you'll only ever get the 1. Now you can change this to act like a you can change this to act like a normal spawner by editing the properties, but they default to these one shots, which I really like because they're really useful for making one-off encounters where I don't want to put a spawner in, you know? Because spawners have a different dynamic than you walk in the room and here's all the enemies. Like, here's the encounter. Uh, it's a much more Dungeons and Dragons way of doing the encounters. But anyway, so that's those spawners. Let me get rid of this and that for that matter. These are actually really powerful. The masks, that is, because they grant permanent potion effects while you wear them. I think this one that grants resistance, with the improved HP pools of the mod pack, resistance is a very powerful effect. But anyway, let's get back to actually playing. So what was I doing? I was approaching this, and then I talked about the things, and here's a bunch of enemies, and I'm going to mow them down with chain lightning. And then it looks like orcs drop meat. It's one of their drops. It's kind of cool. Ote! Utini! Upa chupa solo? You like their behavior where they try to flank you? So this is Dust Axe Cave. This is the home of the Dust Axe Orc tribe, who guard one of the wolves in the map, and any other critters that they want to let live in their cave with them, it would seem. Like this wizard. Now that was an actual spawner. I saw the spawner sparks. It's also right out in the open. Okay, I do not want these dang masks. Get out of my inventory. Do not want you. Shoo. So this is a red token you get from spawners, and it can be used to get a spawner loot box. I didn't call it a spawner token on the off chance that it comes from somewhere else. You know, like maybe there's another source of them. So on the first level of their cave, there's a small loot room, mostly just copper. and probably some food if I had to take a guess. I really like tying the orcs to these this block palette. It looks really good in savanna biomes, which is where orcs naturally spawn. Ooh, hey guys. But as you can see, I'm actually taking damage as opposed to not taking any. I think I'm down about 20 hearts, roughly speaking. Alright, so this one is done. So hopefully I'll have a less bag spam going on. Because Baroka really didn't help, did they? We'll put those down there. Yes. And the orcs are dropping meat. May as well use it. Because I think I used up my fish that I brought. No! Well, this one was auto-sorting to the... Yeah. Since this one was the one that was auto-sorting to the beginning, it shouldn't matter that much. Or it should line up. Let's check out the loot room and see what's in here. There's cactus juice, which I don't really need right now. Ah! I really want the meat. The meat is fantastic food. I don't really need the copper. I don't really need the iron, but I already have a stack. That is ironberry juice, I think. The cactus juice doesn't really stack, so I think I'd pass. And a sharpness 2 iron greatsword, a bottomless coal bucket. Nothing I really need right now. I'm going to try and do a little better about keeping my inventory clean because I'm pretty well supplied. A cactus dandelion salad. I don't really need the gold right now either. My urge to take everything is pretty powerful, but again, I have a ton of raw ingots of copper and iron. Not really worried about running out of that. I will take you because you will drop me like small fragments of diamond, and I will also aggro. I will also social aggro all the other tools. Oh, there went the chieftain. I think I just saw him. Yeah. I'm surprised he aggroed on me from there. Did I already loot his special drop? Can't really tell. Or maybe that wasn't the chieftain. Maybe I'm seeing things. Is he supposed to drop a special axe? Let's see if he's back here. Is that him? Oh no, that was him. Maybe I should. Maybe I should have built this up. I'm surprised he had line of sight on me from up here. Normally he hangs out like right around here, and because I playtested this area a few times on the approaches, so. He also. Where's your axe, man? You're supposed to drop a special axe. Well, what the heck? Did a monster pick it up? Did it get deleted by something? I mean, it's not like the best axe ever. It's not like I'm. I would probably keep using Gigaton, you know? Not really. Huh. Yes. Good. I like that. And this. I like that too. Not that. I don't need that. And here's the wool. Lime wool get. No. And here's his throne. Yeah, that was unusual. Because I would go into creative and place the guy, and then I would go into survival and approach as a player and like see how the area played out, and then reset it in creative mode and try again and again and again. And that's the first time I've been on the staircase and had him just like jump down like that. He kind of ended up. You're supposed to come up here and turn the corner and see the throne room, and then come around the corner. He's supposed to be about right here. Uh, I mean, they're Minecraft monsters, so they do just kind of wander around randomly. So it's totally possible. Uh, that's just a little unfortunate. Oh well, whatever. He has he has that right there. Goldmock, the Dust Axe, taken from a slain Orc Chief. It's a unique Sharpness 5, Unbreaking 5 steel battle axe that has flat attack damage on it, and attack speed and reach. Um, it's very similar to... Hello. Yes. Yes, you have no damage, thank you. It's actually quite similar in stats to Gigaton here, but it's versatile instead of armor piercing. So it counts as a... it counts as an axe for the purposes of tree chopping and harvesting, as far as I know. Oh, right. The orcs are social aggro. Okay. So I social aggro the chief. Maybe I should move him back a little bit more then. Although him leaping off the ledge up there to ambush you is actually kind of cool too. So from up here you get a pretty sweet view of the Mana Oasis. Don't you guys like the painted wood? Doesn't it look really cool? These are painted slabs. Not to be confused with... They're painted acacia slab. Not to be confused with painted wood. I mean, this is painted wood from Mousie's Mobs as opposed to painted wood from Rustic. Which you can basically... This is... I guess you could say is dyed wood because that's how you make it. You use dye. And this is made with also dye on acacia wood. Wait a minute. Is that a... Is this a... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Is this a crafting recipe conflict? That's acacia. What? Oh, what happens if you... show me recipes for acacia wood. Uh, okay, there's the painted wood. What about the... You're gonna interrupt me, aren't you? Must you? I have projectiles too, man. Anyway. I go over here where it's safe. I was trying to look at recipes, bullies. Okay. Uh... So acacia with any dye on it, it looks like. But This is all the Minecraft stuff. Now we're into modded. That's gilded acacia. So now you can use the crafting bench, the Ancient Warfare crafting bench, to pick what recipe you actually want. So duplicate recipes aren't necessarily the hugest problem. They aren't the existential problem you might think. They're just kind of annoying, but let's see. So okay, so here's our white painted wood. And there's the orange. So it's the acacia around the dye, but then also this is acacia around the dye. So I need to, I probably need to check that, investigate that. Oh, wow. Got really lively over here while I was reading. I think I'm actually fighting a spawner here. So fun fact, when you spawn orcs by any means, they have a chance to either be the shaman or the normal type. And they pick random appearances and armor configurations. And that's just controlled by I don't know what. I like how they accidentally hit their friendly orcs and end up making them get slowed. Alright. That was fun. Let's see here. Stuff goes in, yeah. And that one's done. Cool. Oh boy, a chest! I wonder what loot's in this chest, guys. I'm sure glad I killed all the orcs, and that there aren't any orcs left. Grahaha! Me trick you. So, yeah. It's an enemy in a box. He tricked you. He tricked me. I was tricked, guys. And this is just another gorgeous view of Mana Oasis, which that's the actual Mana Oasis. The area is called Mana Oasis, and there's the entrance to the other dungeon. People have been having a hard time finding this. I tried to make it more obvious with like stuff poking out, and especially at night, there's lighting cues over there. I think time that night. Yeah, there's lighting. Like if you look out the window, you can see it lit up over there. I thought that was obvious, but this like people on Discord or Well, let me put it this way. There's two dungeons that people keep asking, like, where's the wool for? And the first one is the Goblin Grotto down in that cave by the swamp area. Um, they missed that one for some reason, and they also missed this one. Or I guess maybe it's this corner right here. If the entrance was like right there, and it's got to be this corner. Maybe that's it. Maybe people don't look around at night. I do know a lot of people just like habitually refuse to make it night, let it be night because of the bedrolls. They'll always use the bedroll to change. I wish there was like some limit to that, but I would rather have the bedrolls than not have them at all. But I do recognize that like it is possible for players to just skip a lot of the game's difficulty by constantly making it daytime. Uh, so yeah. The thing is, though, the reason I let it stay, I think, is like I could just dig in this wall and close myself off and then just wait, and nothing really would get me, and it would be daytime then. And is it a party out here? A little bit. Chain lightning's amazing. And I enjoy it because, like, as a content creator, just being able to reliably just make it day is kind of pretty great, because a lot of times you can see at night, but like on Twitch and YouTube, it's not as bright, or maybe there's not as much visual clarity, so it's just harder to see. Ah, Waystone. Can you not hit me? Really? That's too far for you, huh? Okay. All right, man. I look like an absolute goober in this mix-matched armor. I don't really like it. I don't prefer this look. This is Dry Bone Gulch. It's probably the most chill area in the map, other than maybe Peanut Canyon. Oh, wow. Man. Guys, look at this divine quality sharpness 4, unbreaking 4 goblin mace. That's the best goblin mace that's ever existed. I'm willing to bet that that's the best goblin mace ever. So this area it's just an area. It doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't really do anything. There's a waystone that has a nice area for fast travel if you want to glide around the canyon. There's that. It's also a good spot to farm the drops from tumbleweeds. So if you don't know how tumbleweeds spawn, tumbleweeds will spawn in desert and savanna biomes at the locations, I think, of these dead bushes. So I think if you got rid of all of the dead bushes, it would stop these guys from spawning. And if you're getting thirsty, yes, you can take the iron. Off you go then. The tumbleweed drop table is kind of eclectic. There's a lot of stuff in here. And actually, I just remembered, now that I've got well, maybe I shouldn't do that. I should probably put the iron tokens in there and not the coppers. That's probably too generous, but I kind of wouldn't mind making a tumbleweed farm at some point. I might do it in creative mode as a point of concept just to see what it would look like and what you need to do. But if you need ice in the desert for whatever reason to make the cooling pack, I think the cool pack is cooling goo, seed, paper, and the cooling goo is okay. So what you do is you go to the brain slimes, you kill the brain slimes for slime balls, you get the packed ice from the ice cubes, right? So you do that, and you get your ice, and then you get your. How do you make the packed ice? There. And then you use the slime balls and the packed ice, and what else was it? Is it just paper? Cooling goo. There's your cooling goo. So this is like emergency survival. Why do tumbleweeds have ice? Who knows? Maybe the tumbleweeds have come from far away. You guys want the actual answer? It's because tumbleweeds are native to Russia. And right, there's ice in Russia. But yeah, tumbleweeds are. Go watch CGP Grey on YouTube. The Trouble with Tumbles. That's a great video. Yeah. Uh, Tumbles are from Russia, and that's where there's ice in my tumbleweeds. It's also just a gameplay thing of like it's a way to get cooling goo in the desert. It's like, where would you find ice in the desert? It's like, well, how could I inject it into the drop table somehow? It's like, tumbleweeds. And that way you have like a way to make these little packs fairly cheaply because like you should be able to get basic wood from somewhere and or reeds in the desert, seeds, and then make your goo packs. And then the other thing that's in here is a coffee break. Where's the coffee break at? Is it up here? Where'd I put it? Is it back here? It's right there. Okay. Feathers, crystal flowers. Occasionally, I think amethyst. So renewable amethyst is from tumbleweeds, by the way. If you wanted some amethyst, you can find it in tumbleweed. Pretty good source of crystal flowers, actually. Oh, that one's used up. Coffee break. Hey, it's kind of chill up here, isn't it? There's no dungeon, nor any special loot. Just tumbleweeds, which actually drop neat stuff. I wonder if you could make a tumbleweed farm with cactus and hoppers. Spoiler alert, yes, that's how you do it. So anyway, how are you? Are you enjoying your adventure? Are there times when you have been frustrated? Have any traps got you yet? I hope you're doing well. I'm always rooting for you, despite what the traps might suggest. I hope you win. And I hope you're having fun. If you get discouraged, take a break and try again later. Have you been on your computer for too long? Do you need to get up and stretch? Maybe get something to drink? You should take care of yourself. There's only one of you, after all. Hard to replace. I need to get back to designing new areas. I think the next map in the series will be Gothic themed, the type of map that could have Vania at the end of the name. Good the mod pack gives me so many undead types, huh? Variety. Anyway, I just wanted to check in on how you were doing. I hope your adventures go well, both inside and outside this world. Best of luck, Vechs, author of the Super Hostile series. So that is a coffee break. And I was inspired to do it as a. The first time I saw that was in Earthbound for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. And you literally just. Like your character, you and your party stop for coffee, and there's just a long message that plays that's basically a. It's not exactly clear who the note is from or who the message is from. but it seems to be directly the game designer talking to you, or maybe it's. I'm still not clear exactly in universe what who the character is supposed to be that's talking to you through that message. Um, but in this, it's well, I made this map, and other than my wife making some buildings and uh, yeah, that's pretty much it. So you know it's me. So I went ahead and signed my name to it. But it's basically go watch the Earthbound coffee break, and then later there's a tea break. But it's just kind of checking on the player, like talking to the player. Uh, I guess I'm not explaining it very well, but it felt really appropriate right up here. So yeah, that's the main point of this area is there's the coffee break, there's the waystone, and that's it. But I really like this area because it's so chill. It has a really nice view of the desert down below and the edge of the. Let's see if my computer can handle 24. You can see the lava ocean out there. My computer could probably handle it better if I wasn't running my recording software and recording in lossless quality. Do I record in lossless? No, I don't record in lossless. It's close to it though. It's minimum compression. Because I have the hard. Oh, you can actually see the edge of the map too. I guess I don't need the. Is 20 fine? Yeah, 20's fine. More satisfying view. So yeah, that was the lime wool. It's a fairly straightforward area. Orcs are not known for uh, too much in the way of sophisticated dungeon design, so I left it mostly straightforward. If you want some more sophisticated design, well, that's going to be that dungeon right there, which we will do next episode. I don't even know if I'm going to bother going back to base. I still have several loot crates, loot packs here. Is there anything in here that's like really I'm dying to open? I guess the lootless twos. Let's go see what's in here. Hello. Well, there's the vitamins, a block of iron, a block of emerald. So the vitamins are a fantastic bauble because it grants you immunity to weakness and mining fatigue. It works in any bauble slot, so let's see here. Uh, I could probably switch this out for the 10% damage resistance. I'm at 8 bars of HP, and 10% of the 8 bars is 8 hearts, so... I've got 15% damage resistance just from... Oh, no, I've got 5% here. Oh, look at this. I'm actually at 5, 10, 20%, 21%, 23%. I've got 23% damage resistance. I'm actually kind of chonkier, despite my breaking legs and boots. Uh, Ironically, I could simply just equip this in my offhand, because now that I have the Gigaton Hammer in here, I'm just immune to the... This doesn't affect me. Because that's like 1/1000. Yeah, 1/1000. Yeah. And I take it off, and it's still... actually... Immunity to weakness and mining fatigue. Maybe holding it in my offhand doesn't actually work. Let's swap this out for this. Because I didn't really like the way the glasses looked anyway. Um, if I put this in my offhand... Okay, so even though it says when in any bauble slot and when in offhand, it doesn't seem to actually give you the immunity to weakness and mining fatigue in your offhand. That's interesting. But now I could use a shield in my off. I could use a shield in my offhand, which is kind of cool. I don't think there's much out here that will blind me. And even if I do get blinded, it's not the worst. It's not the worst thing in the world, because you can still see like a short distance, and my character works just fine at short range. And really, the chain lightning has a form of auto aim where I just get like near my cursor near the target, I think. Right? Hey, Void Creeper, you want to help me? If I aim to the right of you a little bit, yeah, like I don't even have to aim exactly at him. The chain lightning just gets him. So, and then it's going to bounce automatically on its own without me needing to see. So blindness really doesn't affect the chain lightning user too badly, which is cool. But anyway, so that was the Dust Axe Cave and the Lime Wool, and that was the 1082 update where despite being chunk, you actually saw me take some damage in there, thankfully. And I'll look at the numbers and how it plays out. If anything, it might need to be adjusted even more rather than less, because armor. Obviously, Minecraft was never designed for having more than 1 bar of HP. Nor was it ever designed to have more than 1 bar of armor shirts. And if you equip full Dragonsteel, you end up with like 13 and a half shirts or something. You go over the cap. So it really was not designed for either of those. So having armor behind and in front of your huge HP bar, it just leads to a little bit too much durability than what I intended. So that's something I'm carefully monitoring to make sure that like you don't get too crazy. That said, I have bothered to put I've got protection on my armor, on some parts of the armor, and I do have divine quality netherite chest piece. So that accounts for something, right? And I do have some really nice baubles here. So I should be chonk, but if nothing poses any threat to me, then that should probably be addressed a little bit. It definitely makes the goblin maces that break armor a lot cooler, because that is at least a tool I can use to challenge a player's armor, since if the armor is overpowered, then the goblin mace would keep it in check, right? Because with this mod, I've made it so that the armor gives you less protection the more damaged it is. So like these boots that are almost dead are like I'm still getting the enchantment, but the actual armor contribution is probably very low now because they're so damaged. So that's a pretty cool mechanic. But anyway, I'll see you guys next episode. Until then, as always, take it easy.